Okay. Hello, people. Hello.
Is anybody out there? Hello.
There's usually a number somewhere, but I'm not seeing one. Hey, there's somebody.
Hi.
Hello. Anyways, maybe it's a good thing I can't tell how many people are here. So what's going on, dude?
Not much, man. Just got a nice fun day of tattooing a hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Today you tattooed?
It was just a walk-in. Dude came in and got a crown with the word king underneath it. So
where is he king? Where's his kingdom?
King of I don't know.
You didn't ask?
No, I didn't ask.
You tattooed a king, bro.
King of his own realm. Yeah.
So in his reality,
yes, yeah,
he is a king.
Yes, royalty.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
What'd you do?
Wonder.
Do you have anything fun today?
No.
No.
No. I had a full day guy have to reschedule on me just yesterday, and so I had a day of preparation and drawing and things, and then I had a smaller tattoo this evening. And
what was that one?
Well, you know, the smallest ones are the hardest ones.
They can be.
And I think part of the reason is because people who get small tattoos aren't really committing to much. You know, and so if they're going to commit to getting this thing on their body that's going to be permanent, it's going to be there forever. No, it's not. It's not. You've got a shelf life, sweetheart. You're going to be recycled. It's not gonna be there forever because you're not gonna be here forever.
We are just borrowing this space.
But I understand what you're trying to say. You're trying to maneuver the English language into saying it's gonna be there my whole life, which, it's not that long. And all that, but so it was a smaller tattoo, very simple tattoo, no shading, just line work.
Okay,
God help us.
Those are a little bit challenging because there's nothing to.
There's nowhere to hide.
Nowhere to hide.
There's nowhere to hide on a small and no shading tattoo. You pull the line once and you nail it, or you don't.
Every I mean, if you zoom in, you can see every heartbeat that the tattoo artist had
and the client.
Yeah, and the client.
Yeah, and thankfully she sat like a rock, but it was more leading up to it, and it was a couple simple flowers to represent her nephews, and then the stems of the flowers leading up had the names, woven into the stems. And she brought in a reference, which is always very, very helpful. Mm-hmm. And I drew it up. I was pretty satisfied. This ain't my first rodeo. I know what's up. And I enjoy doing full bodysuits. I enjoy doing little bangers, everything in between.
Yeah.
I love tattooing.
They're all fun, man.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. Am I tattooing? Yep. Then that's what I like to do. So and she just got hung up on the font of that was in the stem, and it took us about a half hour, 45 minutes of digging through fonts and all that for us to finally nail it. And it's crazy because I've had less. I don't want to call it pushback or even or disagreement. It's more of a, I don't know.
I get what you're saying,
but I've had less of I guess, hey, this is what I see us doing, and this is what I think is the best plan, and someone going, no, let's change that plan. Comparatively, that happens less on back pieces than it does on the tiny little stuff.
Right. It really does kind of, it has that difference.
Yeah.
And I think you might be right with the like the level of commitment that the tattoo has, and the amount of actual line work and shading that goes into a tattoo.
Yeah. I mean, there's been so many times where I've had to change a leaf, just a leaf, on something, or a petal, or, take out one petal or move something just a couple degrees on something that could fit underneath a beer coaster. Mm-hmm. But I've done full sleeves, legs, without even a second thought of anything like that. I think it has to be because they're of the maybe what got them to getting a tattoo in the first place. Maybe they're wearing them for different reasons.
Maybe,
But yeah, I
think like a little bit especially like with your thing tonight with the font. Technology has really offered us a lot of really cool things design-wise, for tattooing. But I think the accessibility and the ease in which, I like that, but can we change the font? It's so, I don't know. It just seems like it's so much easier to, for a client to just, want to change something on the fly because there's so many fonts available.
And maybe this is it. Maybe because any change to a small tattoo is going to seem like a minuscule change because it's so small, right?
Yeah.
But if you're looking at a back piece and you're like, can we like change this? Well, it makes more sense, I guess, or doesn't seem like such a small change because you're dealing with such more stuff.
A large scale thing with a lot of stuff.
So they're really, so maybe it's, man, it really seems like there's a lot more pushback on small stuff, but maybe when you look at it, numbers, and you really weigh it out, maybe it isn't as off-sided as it seems with small tattoos, but man, it just seems like so many times I've sat people down for a consult and they've started telling me about their sleeve and I'm like, oh yeah. And so, yeah, like let's do this and it'll come up into that and it'll blend right into there and it'll be perfect. And their eyes light up and like, yeah. And then I'm like, yeah, and this and that. And they're like, yeah, right on, dude. When can we start? And boom. And like, there's not another conversation about how it's going to look after that. It's just, they go, yeah, dude, looks rad. I'll see you in a couple weeks. And it's just this easy ebb and flow. And by the end of it, we're stoked and we're half buddies and everything's great. But then you'll have those tattoos that come in that the tattoo takes 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
And sometimes designing it takes like twice that.
But all the work is getting to the tattoo.
Yeah.
Where the bigger the tattoo, there's way less work between you and the client, seemingly. Most of the time, with most clients that go big.
I think so, yeah.
They just want to wear a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And they're excited that if you can take that stuff they want and make it look really cool and to cover their arm with it, like that's what they're after.
Yep.
Where you have these little things and man, every line makes a difference.
Yeah, every little nuance.
Rip it apart.
Yep.
So anyway, that was kind of, but I doing it for long enough, I know what things are, I know how it goes, and you just go until you figure it out.
I think it's nice to have those little kind of challenges every once in a while to like just, I don't know. Just
to remind you.
Yeah, just to remind you, like, just like the bare bones building block stuff, know, but okay, just lines. No shading, no color, no nothing else. Are you sure?
Yeah. That's true. That reminds me of a quick story, and all 80,000 of our viewers right now aren't probably going to know who I'm talking about, but you will. But Paul Booth, I tattooed. I had a time. I had it ended up to where we were tattooing on the same person at the same time. And Paul Booth doesn't, he really, if you look at his work and familiar with his work, he's a black and gray, more macabre black and gray artist that does like, creepy stuff.
Sure.
But he doesn't use like any lines. He doesn't use any line weight. He doesn't outline his stuff.
Okay. So I wondered that.
It's all just built off of values, and negative, positive, just like real life. That's what gives it kind of this. It's totally bizarre, unreal looking stuff,
right?
But it's done in a realistic style.
Sure.
And he was the first tattoo artist that got famous and really known as, if you want something gross and that looks badder than anything you can get on planet Earth, you go to Paul Booth. But so anyway, we were working on this piece together with several other artists, and we got to the point to where it was multiple artists working on the same piece. So we all had to kind of be on the same level, same path of what we were trying to accomplish at the end. We couldn't all just, I thought we were doing that. You know what I mean? There has to be kind of this cohesive idea, at least, for us to take it in our paths from.
And make it look like a nice finished piece that is unified and not disjointed. And,
that's still, and the cool thing, and that was the trick, was to put together this piece and make it end up cohesive, looking like a cool tattoo if you didn't know that it was a bunch of artists working on it, but at the same time be able to clearly see the individual input of each artist.
Just those inherent styles.
Yeah.
Because I can tell a Jack tattoo when I see it.
Sure.
And I would like to think likewise I guess I do that with my tattoos sometimes too.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, hey, man, that's a cool tattoo. Who did that?
So
they're like, you did.
So one of the things that was going to hold this whole piece together was there was outline.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was like 6 of us, and we all had to do kind of this equal amount of tattooing in this thing. So Paul Booth, being one of the best artists in the world and known for being probably, in a lot of people's eyes, the best, especially at that time, of what he did, was like, do we have to outline? What if we don't? What if, I mean, what I don't, what if, I mean, I don't. And another really well-known artist was like, no, you have, this is the way we're doing it, Paul. So you have to outline this portion. This is your portion, and this is the portion that you're going to outline. And he's kind of like, Oh, wow. So just to illustrate that, he was looked at as one of the best, has tattooed some of the most famous people in the world doing what he does, and he still got kind of
oh, wow. Yeah.
What do you mean I have to step out of my comfort zone? What do you mean I have to do something that I don't know?
That would be rough, man.
It's pretty crazy.
I couldn't imagine like being at his level of, just being known for like some really sick shit.
Oh yeah.
And something like that just kind of making you like,
Yeah. Right. So not was that only cool for me to see, and gave me a little insight that, like, even though, there's a lot that goes into being this person, not only do they have to do incredible things, but they still have demons. They still have to, it's not all easy peasy. It looks like when they walk into the room, everybody thinks they're great and wants to get to know them, but they know inside their head that they have to perform at a certain level and know certain things to maintain it. There's a lot that goes along with it. And whether you're at the top or you're way down at the bottom trying to get to the top, you always still feel that weight of having to perform and having to, having those spots where you're like, shit. But that's what kind of separates, I think, for the people from the top, from the bottom, is being able to perform and being able to, because he did. You know, he did perform. He did pull it out.
Watched him do some nice lining and all that.
Yeah, and the craziest thing is, and this is just for my own and yours, because I think I've told the story before, maybe. But anyway, Philip Lowe was the one who was kind of heading up the whole thing.
Okay.
And Philip was telling Paul, like, hey, you know, this is why we're doing it. And I was lining my portion of the tattoo that was yay big. It was on a leg, so we were kind of on both sides of this leg. And they're standing on the other side of the leg while I'm outlining my portion. And they're kind of having this going back and forth. And it kind of dawns on me, I'm like, yeah, Paul Booth doesn't do lines. When was the last time Paul Booth pulled a line? Paul Booth doesn't pull lines?
Man.
Ever. It's
so
all
wild.
build up. It's all shadowing. And if he does do lines, they're bloodlines. They're quick kind of bloodlines, right?
Yeah.
Especially at that time. I mean,
Right.
and the thing is he is a multifaceted, incredible artist. I'm not taking anything away from Paul Booth
No.
at all. He has always been one of I've looked up to him forever.
Same.
And I still do.
Same.
So this was so surreal. But Philip Lowe goes, see what Jack is doing? You see how Jack's pulling the line? Just do that. Just do what Jack's doing.
Oh, wow.
So you have Philip Lowe talking to Paul Booth,
Dang.
using me as the illustration of what to be. That is
dude, so cool.
And it didn't necessarily. It was more of a, oh shit, I hope I'm learning right, you know, more. But then when I looked back at it, I'm like, that is the most fucking crazy thing ever.
That is like super props, dude.
It's my duh. Like, you know, you have one of the best artists using, you know, talking to one of the best artists saying, yeah, do it like him.
And you're the like, illustrative example.
Yes, I'm the example. I'm like, oh man, that blew my mind.
Very
Still
cool.
does blow my mind. But anyway,
that's a fun story, man.
We have a question. It says, what is a common misconception people have about being a tattoo artist?
That you have to be an asshole. No.
Does that come with being an artist, or does that come before?
I don't know. Yeah.
I think it's if you're not an asshole before you start tattooing, it's very hard not to be one after.
Right. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, a lot of, because it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of,
it is.
You know, a lot of people expecting a lot of stuff. And so, you know, and just like a writer, I imagine has, you know, writer's block. We get artist block. You know, we'll look at a page, an empty page, and we can't see nothing.
And a lot of times it's that like frustration of not being able to, or whatever you're trying to do, because your expectations are going to be, you know, probably higher or through the highest for what you want to achieve, you know.
Oh, sure.
Tattoo. So you put those pressures on yourself, and sometimes I'll be like talking to a client or something, and I'm kind of stuck in my own head, you know, like I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, well, how am I going to do this? You know, and I'm kind of, and you know, the client might be like talking about, you know, I don't know, they've moved on to like, you know, small chat kind of stuff, you know, niceties and shit, and I'm like sitting there thinking like, you know, I'm thinking technical stuff, tattoo stuff, and all this.
Yeah, what to do first, how to get to where I want to go.
So I think I have been kind of like dismissive at times, where I'm just like, yeah, just whatever, you know, or not whatever, but you know what I'm saying? Like not paying attention to, you know, the conversation, and just kind of stuck in like, oh God, what am I doing right now? Like moment. Yeah,
Bill. Yeah. Seeing it in your head. And and you kind of have to, are you talking when you're tattooing or when you're doing like a consult?
Anytime.
Really.
Yeah. During the tattoo, especially.
Yeah. Well, I used to be a big talker while I tattooed. I used to just talk and gab and not shut up and sing and just be all nutty. But yeah, after a while, I don't know what the switch was or why necessarily or what facilitated it, But I notice myself now very much being very much focused on what I'm doing and what I'm going to be doing and how I'm getting to it. Not that having little breaks or pulling your brain out of what you're doing isn't good. I think it is.
I think it is too.
Yeah, because I do notice myself when there are those small breaks or there are those little interruptions or those little talks, it almost makes me aware that I haven't been aware.
Uh-huh. Yes, I had that actually today. The gentleman said like, "Oh, hey, do you mind if I stand up?" And I'm like, "No, go right ahead." And dude, I totally needed that little bit of a reset to kind of pull away from what I was doing and get out of my head and just okay, well, I'm human. Oh, okay, yeah. My legs are cramped and my butt's sore from sitting like an hour and a half, you know. It's like, okay, cool, man. And then kind of getting back into the tattoo, I was like, oh, wow. Like, it was...
Wow, it's flowing now. Yeah. And I, you know, it feels kind of like... Or I've convinced myself that's kind of cheating or something, because I never used to take breaks. I never used to break stride. I never used to. I mean, I hated stopping, but I think maybe now where for whatever reason, I'm not taking those 5 to 4 second breaks that talking and interacting and screwing around and stuff. That kind of that break it gives your brain, I'm not taking those anymore. It's like I'm focusing fully on the tattoo, but I still need to take all those 50-second and 30-second and 1 minute little breaks that I'm taking along the way and put them all in a 5-minute break or a 4-minute break or something.
Makes sense,
right?
Yeah, kind of just lump it all in one spot, and it's more efficient that way, probably.
Well, it fits the way if that's just the way I'm working now. It's just the way my flow works now, I think, you know, where some people do work they encompass the room when they're tattooing. And I used to do that too all the time. Not knowingly, you know, it's just the way my interaction with the world is working, and I just, you know, involve the room. But now, for whatever reason, and maybe it's working in my own room, maybe it's being in my my personal room, and not in a more of a open, you know, I don't have the opportunity. I have one person to talk to or not.
Right.
I don't have people in and out, and I don't have as much people.
That could be, yeah.
So, but anyway, so now that I work like that, I still need those breaks though, or I start getting like
a little bit
focused in,
tunnel visioned.
Did we answer? We didn't answer the question at all.
I just yelled out the you have to be an asshole thing.
Yeah.
But,
I think it's easy, and that you make tons of money.
Yeah, that is a pretty big...
and that you just see tits all the time.
It's the opposite of that.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
It's really hard. And what do you've told me since I've met you, a good tattooer will make tattooing look easy. And... damn, you make it look easy, man. But yeah, it isn't, because you're seeing how long it took you to get to where you're at. You know, how many years and how much blood, sweat, and tears did it take to get to that? Quite a bit. And, somebody sees you do that and they're like, oh, well, he's just drawing that on it. He's just, I mean, it's like paper, but it's just skin, it's not that different. And then, so, I mean, it is a lot more difficult, I think, than what it looks like. Or it can be, anyway. And I think that definitely... Yeah,
I was at a convention years ago, and me and a handful of other people at the convention were sitting in this hotel, like in this little generic, like, seating area they had in the middle of this unrealistically large hall that didn't need to be that big. You know, like in hotels, they just have like a big area. And then they'll be like, fuck, what do we have this for? And they're like, I don't know, put a chair in it. So they set some chairs just in this huge area. And anyway, so we're sitting there, and one of the guys that was there was a really good artist, and really well known, and just did incredible work. And so we're sitting there, John, and this maintenance guy or this janitor guy starts kind of working his way towards us, vacuuming this huge hall of carpet, you know, and he's working towards us. He finally gets up close. He's like, hey, it's like, so you guys here with the tattoo convention? And we're like, and we're kind of like looking around it. We're all obviously complete freaks. And we're like, yep. And he's like, so you guys tattoo that? And, you know, we're like, yeah, well, some of us do or whatever. And the guy that was kind of the center of this group of people sitting there, like the well-known, really good, like, artist that, you know, a lot of people looked up to, he's like, he's like, yeah. He goes, yeah, that's not too hard, is it? And for whatever reason, man, this is burnt in my soul. The kind of the head of the group that was sitting there turns and looks up at the guy. He goes, yeah, dude, all you do is trace. And the guy goes, yeah, that's what I thought. And like goes back to vacuuming his shit. Just like, yeah, I mean, because of course, yeah, you could look at it that way. Tracing on a piece of paper that bleeds, moves, you know, sweats, has emotions,
has a throreshold for pain.
Yeah, leaks liquid as you're trying to create art on it, you know. But yeah, it's pretty much the same.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it blew me away.
That's great.
But yeah, I think the biggest misconception, or what people don't see, and because again, if you're a good artist, you're a good tattooer, you don't see it. It's all the work that goes into getting it onto your skin. And that's, especially in this day and age, is coming up with the artwork.
Yes. Because,
you know, very rarely people, if they do find some artwork they like, they don't go, I want that. Mm-hmm. They say, I like the way that looks. I like that. But I want you to do better.
And you want to do great, so you end up, investing some time in that drawing. And all those drawings that you did, not tattooing, you know, just, I need to draw a fish, you know, and you draw a fish. And then sometimes you have to have a reference because I don't know what a sunfish looks like, you know.
Right.
I need to have that reference. So you draw it so it's in your Rolodex, right? How many hours of drawing shit that you haven't even tattooed yet,
right?
You know, just stuff that you've just spent time just trying to understand the contours and the way the light hits it.
And just getting to know that type of thing. You know, people they kind of will treat some people, and it's thankfully pretty rare in my career or interaction, but there's those people that kind of just treat you like a vending machine, you know, and they'll be like, draw me this, click, and they're like, come on, just do it. Because it does look easy, you know, to someone who doesn't know or doesn't create art really. When they see someone create art, they're going, oh, that's incredible. You can just do that. Do this, do that, do that, do this, you know? It'd kind of be like if you had a wizard in your house that could just like create furniture,
right.
You know? But every time he did it, it's taking 8 years off his life, you know? So I can understand that, but I think that's why it's a misconception, because there's really no way for them to see all the hours you're sitting on your couch with your iPad or all the hours you're researching or looking for reference for things, and it takes a lot longer to give a shit about what you do.
Yeah. Well, you remember back in the days before, like, you know, the internet was, you know,
oh yeah,
everything and everywhere.
Yeah.
So references.
Oh boy,
You used all kinds of shit. Like, libraries were your best friend.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy how like going to Kinko's was a regular thing.
Uh-huh.
To blow things up big, like for back pieces, things like that. I mean, we would have shelves of reference books, just birds, 10 to 12 books just on different birds. And so thinking,
and they
it
were
was
kind
crazy.
of rare too. I mean, like now there's, all kinds of books and, media and all kinds of stuff available.
Well, that's the thing. You want to picture something, type it in that little window up there, and it'll show it to you.
Well, sure.
We didn't have that.
Amazon can have it delivered tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you want. But yeah, when you had to go to the library
or Barnes and Noble
or wherever, and you might not even find that book that you need or that reference that you need. So you just have to
you'll find a Western Ridgeback Finch, but that's not the position you need it in.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's changed like insane in that regard. The time it used to take, because when I opened Skin Kitchen, we didn't have a computer in the shop.
Most.
It was a calendar, a book, and you wrote in it by hand, and we kept, John, and wrote arrow to the to the time he was going to be there. I mean, it was just all paper and pencil.
Did you have flash on the wall?
Oh yeah. What do you mean? Did we have flash on the wall?
I have to ask.
But that's an interesting question, because you weren't a tattoo shop if you didn't have flash.
Well,
what do you guys do here?
We're a studio. We design stuff.
Yeah. But, and someone's going to come in and go, well, I want like a dragon. Okay. Well, what kind of dragon?
I didn't think about that, but nowadays with cell phones, like
they don't have a picture with them.
They show you right.
That's the flash.
That's
the flash.
And I do recall now that very rarely did somebody come in with a printed piece of paper and something like, I like this.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way to show somebody.
No.
So
that's why we had to have books and books and books and pages and pages and pages of designs.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you would have a person coming in and go, I want a dragon.
And they just have to take
well, let me draw one. You know how many different ways you can draw a dragon?
Right.
At least 10,000 trillion million capillion. So it gives them that, now you can say, oh, you want a dragon? We have 27 dragons.
Mm-hmm.
So which one do you want? Now it's, I want a dragon. You have 10 gazillion dragons to choose from, but I don't have to have them all.
Yeah, right.
You have your own flash in your pocket.
Right.
So I don't have to have literally $15,000.
That is pretty handy, isn't it?
Worth of flash on my wall. Yeah. No, it's such a complete night and day interaction now. I mean, when I started, you had to have thousands of dollars for a sterilizer.
Oh yeah, man.
Thousands of dollars. I mean,
the ultrasonic, the autoclave,
the two biggest things about opening a studio when I opened was flash and a sterilizer.
Yeah, the flash was a big.
That's the money. Really.
Yeah.
That's the main money to open a shop, is all the flash.
Well, yeah, and then flash is just cool. Just from
right. Oh, dude, I get so much went into the garbage when I got kicked out of the property. Thousands of pages. Yeah. So everything. Yep. All gone. I deserved it. What do we have here? That you only get to do your own work, and that you are. What is a common? Oh, that you only get to do your pretty. And that you are a party animal that lives 7 days. That lives a 7-day weekend. You can for you can for a while.
Yeah, it's gonna take a toll.
Yeah, there can be times and instances when it is kind of can kind of feel like that, but really it's no different. I mean, yeah, anybody can live a 7-day a week party lifestyle, but you still got to work.
I think in my younger years, yeah, I would have been a lot more capable of like, okay, yeah, I can, you know, go out and, you know, tie one on with the boys and, you know, wake up fairly early, which early is before noon.
Yeah.
And go to work and tattoo functionally the next day. But, you know, now that I'm getting older.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And I'm not looking to tattoo at the level. Well, in the industry expects more.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like back then it was like you want something off a Sailor Jerry or you want something off a crow sheet, you know. It was very flash, repetitive, kind of a lick and stick in a way.
It's a little bit more demanding now as far as like, you know, the time and the amount of life you have to invest in the process.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly that. And I'd say a big part of that is because it's not flash driven anymore. And I can remember kind of that bridge between flash and freehand when tattooing started picking up and you started seeing more elaborate tattoos on sports players and stuff like that. Then people started getting more elaborate, going, oh, that you can do that? Oh, you can do that? And then people start coming in going, oh, I want this. And they'd have a picture in a magazine or, you know, something like that. There was this kind of blending where it was going out of the flash into this custom thing. And it was almost a change of lifestyle thing.
I bet.
Because you could come in one day and make, you know, $500 and never have to think about what you're tattooing. It's just like, okay, Sarah wants this, Joanne wants that, Bob wants this one. This is how big they are. Here's the money for it, and this is where they want it, and you just stick them and, you know, go. Where now it's more of a, not to sound like gay, but it's kind of like someone coming in and picking out custom artwork. You know, there's like, okay, hi, I'm Jack. I'll be your artist. Tell me your fantasies. Tell me what you want to express yourself. And it's this personal kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So when you're drawing it or you're talking to the person to do this big thing, they can say no after you spent all that work on it. You can't just, oh, they already said yes to it. They already said yes to the size. Look, there's the $80 for it. Cash, the counter girl just sat down with the fucking stencil. All I got to do is stick it on them and color it in the way the board says.
There was a lot more of a just kind of like, this is what you get kind of attitude, wasn't there? Yeah.
But people are not raised like that anymore. No. People are like, I can get a free video game and still build an avatar that looks just like me. Mm-hmm. You're going to say that I can get my exact haircut on a free avatar game, but I can't get what I want on this picture that I want tattooed on me?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know? Yeah. Oh, that's what you're going to tell me? Like, here, you can't do it. But everywhere else in my life, I get exactly what I want.
Well, that's where, like, being able to draw really comes in handy.
Uh-huh.
It blows my mind that there's, and I didn't know that this was the term for it, illustrators. The tattooers that, you know, they can replicate that, you know, Mona Lisa, you know, perfectly on the skin. But if you told them, like, hey, can you draw me a picture of, you know, an anteater snorting a line of ants on my grandma's bosom, they wouldn't be able to imagine that in their head and
be able to
some kind of version of that and make it look, you know, decent.
I don't know where have you heard that called illustrators?
I do not recall.
An illustration, and Go on.
Oh no, well, yeah. What I always thought was illustrative tattoos were kind of more, like some, comic booky or a little bit more, print like.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, an illustration is, and anybody correct me if I'm wrong, but an illustration is basically something that can be illustrated. So that means it can be replicated. It can be mass produced and printed. So high contrast is easy to reproduce. Mm-hmm. So an illustration is something that can be drawn, recognized, and reproduced easy.
Maybe.
So illustration basically means like illustration art usually is something that has an outline to it that can then be interpreted and colored or not.
Okay, maybe I'm using the wrong terminology then, and I don't know
because I love illustration.
I
like
too.
Coop is that's illustration.
Yeah.
That's like illustration art. I mean, it's silk screen, stuff like that. But it's an illustration, which means it's easily replicated for print. It's easily replicated to illustrate an idea, to mass produce and to make it very recognizable.
Maybe I'm using the wrong term then, but back to the point. That
sorry.
No, you're fine. The tattooers that I don't draw, but they can do a tattoo of
wall guys is what we call them. Wall guys.
Wall guys.
Wall guys. He's a good wall guy.
Wall guy, okay.
And what that means is exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
He can take something off. You can give him something off the wall, and he can bang it.
Yeah.
Solid outline, solid color, great. He can apply a tattoo. He knows mechanically how to apply a tattoo to a person and make it beautiful. But you give him a pencil and a piece of paper, he can't draw.
It's so weird.
He can't draw anything.
You'd think
but
that would
he
transfer backwards,
creativity and the ability to do a craft is two different things.
Well, wait, is that guy just tracing?
He knows a craft.
Yeah. He's
not an artist. He knows a craft.
Okay.
So that's the difference between these people that you'll see painting plates in a factory. And they're painting these repetitive shapes on a plate that turn out to be these beautiful flowers or these shapes and things that you look at and like, whoa, wow, they're an artist. No.
They're just Bob Ross and some...
They learned a craft.
Yeah.
They're not using any kind of creativity at all. They're replicating a movement with an instrument to get a result. So that's what a wall guy is. They're a craftsman. They know how to do a craft. But so that means it's just like a woodworker. Hey, build me a beautiful armoire that I can put my clothes in, and I want a couple mirrors in it. And they go, well, where's the plans?
Or I'm just a whittler, man.
Or they go, absolutely. They don't even ask for the plans,
right?
Because I don't want plans. I know exactly what you want. I know what's going to be built. I can imagine it and I know how to make it. But someone can make it if you give them all the plans and how to cut it and where and how to put it together. So that's kind of the different things. Wall guys can tattoo beautifully if you have the plans.
Okay.
Because they can replicate what's on a wall like that.
Okay.
But if somebody comes in and goes, yeah, man, I want a dragon wrapping around in a castle, they're like, yo, it's, even though they can do dragons, they can do castles, they can do all that, but they can't
put
it together.
Sometimes I feel like a wall guy, man.
Right, right.
Some days I'm just like, oh, man. I just, for whatever reason, that creative spark or that flow.
It's just like writer's block.
Is like drip,
yeah,
drip, and then nothing. And it's like, okay, well, that sucks because, you know, I
kind of use that to make a living.
I need to operate right now. So let's, but that's where technology has really come in handy, you know.
Right. You can get
you know,
inspiration.
just pull a reference up, and then before you know it, you know, you're either inspired or like all get out, or you're just terribly like,
oh, you're like, I could have never thought of that. I suck.
God. Oh.
Yeah. That is a huge benefit to be inspired by, you know, not only just the artwork we can find, but other tattooers and what they're doing and how they do it, and us scratching our head and pushing us and making us better. So yeah, it's a blessing and it's a curse.
Do you ever go down the rabbit hole and just like, you're supposed to be looking for references, and then you just go down that like cool tattoos kind of just one after another, and you're like, oh man, how does he do that?
Yeah.
And then like 2 hours later, you're like, oh shit, I need to get back on task.
And this is, yes, but this is the main thing that I think keeps those incredible artists from the great artists, however you want to separate it, is it's not how do they do it, it's how do they have the balls to do it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Think about it, because a lot of the times when I'm looking at a tattoo and I'm trying to figure out why does that look so freaking good, it's because it took such a dedication to plow in a bunch of something or a bunch of this or that, or to pull something through that is either going to work or it's going to look like dog shit.
And I've noticed, you know, it's either the like taking away of something, and restraint, or actually a lot of times restraint, and then that ability to really just push hard elements that work in that certain situation, like say like a candle, and you know, the wisps of the smoke coming up from the glowing light of the candle, and you know the dark background behind it. Okay, you've got a lot of different values in that. You got to pick that middle ground, and then man, some tattooers can just really find that.
And it's not, and it's not only that, because you have to have that, because even doing that in paint takes a certain amount of, right? But I've got to spend hours putting that in, knowing and trusting that it's going to read right, that it's going to heal right, that black is going to be just right, that green is going to pop against it just right. There is so much more balls that it takes to make big decisions on tattoos, and it takes so much longer to see them to fruition. Like, you just have to trust in what you're doing.
The commitment,
Yeah, you have to, exactly. You have to commit to these. What looks right now looks like a tragedy. It looks like a car crash. Like, if you stop now and you took it in front of anyone, they'd go, that looks like dog shit. Whatever you paid for it, you got ripped off. You're an idiot.
It always sucks having to, a bigger project where you're leaving it kind of, you know, nuts and bolts on the floor kind of stuff, you know, and it's like, well, you know, we got a lot in today. It's definitely going to be the next
you're
session
like,
that it
you
really
love it,
comes
and
together.
they're like, it looks like a pile of shit.
There's like, I don't see it, but okay, but yeah.
There's a certain, you know what I'm saying? Tattooing, there's another layer of balls. Because, you know, carving stone, doing blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, someone doesn't have to wake up tomorrow with it, and it's going to be with them until the day they die. They can look away from it. You know what I'm saying?
And you're not really being watched necessarily, like, you know, while you're carving the stone or whatever it is. Yeah, with like kind of like a scrutinizing eye, or, you know, just somebody that you don't want to be disappointed.
Right.
You know, that whole
because you
time
can
is
always hide behind your
present.
own shit if you're carving a piece of stone and be like, yes, well, I, blah, blah, blah. If you don't see it, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't see it and it's on me, mother effer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
so
they have to sit there and commit the time.
Right.
Just sitting with you.
getting tortured
Is that
to a certain,
collaboration.
to
Yeah.
use the word very loosely. But yes, there is a bit of uncomfortableness going along with the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
So you want to make sure it pays off. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot that goes in behind the scenes in the brain that people really don't see. And
Maybe that's why we kind of have to have it like that balls, that
Yeah.
maybe it's mistaken for arrogance or
right. Well, that's a good point. That is a good point. Maybe it does take for someone to be able to effectively do what we do. Maybe it does take a bit of that type of character that is either oblivious to reality in a certain sense, really,
I mean,
or doesn't process what other people. I don't know. Man,
you
that's
know,
hard.
well, I mean, I've
could
struggled
be-
with confidence and tattooing.
Sure, sure.
Well, I mean, most tattooers do.
All tattooers.
all
do.
tattooers. I mean,
All of them.
But,
And if you're a tattooer and you say you don't struggle with that, then there's two types of tattooers: ones that lie and ones that don't.
oh shit.
But
yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah.
You struggle with that.
Oh, yeah, the confidence thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I could see that being like one of the maybe a misconception, because sometimes you have to kind of just like, even though that you have to build it up sometimes, if it's not there, you have to be like, okay, well, no, this isn't my wheelhouse, and I got, and you kind of just like work up that steamroller kind of like mentality to I gotta operate. I can't not operate. So here we go.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that.
That kind of steamroller kind of personality kind of trait could kind of
that doesn't,
out
and
a
not
little bit.
everybody has that. I heard a story years ago where I think he was a newer tattooer, but he was kind of a prodigy. He advanced really, really quick and was just knew his fundamentals and really got on board real quick and was doing some great work. And I was talking to a guy one time, and he was talking about this kid that he worked with and that was telling me about him. And he said one day he went into the room that he was supposed to be tattooing in, and his client was in the chair. And he's like, yo, where's so-and-so? And he's like, oh, I don't know. He said he had to go to the bathroom or something. It's been a minute, though. Okay. So he goes and checks on him and finds him in the bathroom, curled up in the corner, saying, I don't want to do it. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. I'm not going to do it anymore. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Like he had like a breakdown. Like the pressure of doing this tattoo on the guy, it got to him.
damn.
He couldn't do it, and said that. And the crazy thing was he was like I said, he's kind of a prodigy.
Sounds good to me. Prodigy.
Prodigy. Got my G in front of my D. Prodigy. Anyway, and all that. So it wasn't that he couldn't do a tattoo. It was that all up in his head.
That sucks.
He got so stressed out that he wanted to click his heels, and he ran basically.
Did he quit?
Yeah, he didn't tattoo after
damn.
that. Yeah, that was it. He's like, nope, I can't do it.
Dang.
So you can let anything get the best of you, but yeah, I think that goes along with maybe the certain type of person that you are, or the way you deal with stress, depending on maybe even the different types of stress, can really define how long you last in this.
Sure. Wow. Yeah. That blows my mind, man.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Well, and when I heard it, it made me feel not so crazy for wanting to do that.
Yeah, there's been times, man.
Right?
Where I've just like have almost a mental, like just emotional breakdown.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like,
You just want to disappear.
I feel like
you want
this
to go
is
away.
too heavy, and I
don't want to do it anymore.
I need to sit back and can I just reschedule and take a couple days
Right.
off, you know, kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and you can't.
No.
And it's like, no, F you. Do what you know you can do and stop pissing in your own salad.
Right. Why? You got the bestest, awesomest job in the world. It's not even a job.
Yeah, and you're making it hard.
You're just tracing on people.
Right? All you do is trace.
So it's like, you know, there is a kind of a moment, though, that you have to appreciate that and kind of, you know, pick up your emotions and, you know, cram them down in the bottom of your fucking pants.
Yeah, and tell yourself to shut up.
Just leave them in the toilet, man. I don't know. Do something with them. But
yeah, you can be your own worst enemy, man, when it comes to that, for sure. Let's see. Let's try to grab a tattoo or something that we've done here. Let's see if I can remember where it is. Is it this thing? No.
It was like orange or red folder.
It's this. It's this. Nope. It's, there. Hey, cool. Oh, we can do this one.
Right. That was on Diamond.
Bazang. Yeah. Tell us about this sucker.
That was a fun little banger right there. That's a Ouroboros. Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail. This one says, though, I think in the reference picture, there was a saying that was like in the middle. It said something like the cycle stops here, or the buck stops here, or I can't remember exactly what the words were, but it was kind of a cool take on the Ouroboros, because it's like, oh man, I know I'm supposed to do this over and over again, but no, we're stopping it right here.
That's pretty, which
I thought that was a cool take on that.
I think that is too. A very cool take on it.
So
and I love the use of color on it. The purple and green, very cool complementary colors, but if you don't do those colors right, they can end up muddy and not popping very well. And I really like the use of those real kind of brilliant greens against that lighter lavender you brought up against the belly. I think that was it really keeps the contrast good. And the smaller part of the tail, how it wraps around the top part of the body, because you did the colors the way you did, it's so legible how it wraps and how it rolls. So it really lends itself to the kind of that, giving you that extra kind of depth to that roll around. So really good job on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I think if anything, there's a few spots I wouldn't mind just adding just a touch of black, just to give it a little bit more value here and there.
Yeah.
Just where the light's hitting it and where it's not hitting it so much. But thanks.
Yeah. It was very, very cool tattoo. Here we are. They missed us. I could tell.
Guys.
I got to tease them a bit with our face before we go into something else here. I wonder if there's anything I did. What's this? What is that?
What's that's this? Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Some little angels and the rose up top.
Nice.
The one angel down at the bottom. It's hard to tell right now from where we're looking, but they're the bottom angel's holding a watch, like a pocket watch.
Okay.
With the time of, I want to say I think it was of a child's death, maybe.
Oh.
Now I'm thinking about it, but. Yeah, kind of a little memorial piece.
Well, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah, it turned out really nice. She brought in a really strong reference for it. So there wasn't a ton of heavy lifting for me to do other than just kind of clean it up and add the watch and stuff. But yeah, but she wore it really nice, and it went on really well. So
it looks great, man. Yeah, I like the just the tiers. You know, you got nice separation between the bottom angel and then the second and then the rose.
Yeah, and
then the clouds above. You know, it's just a really nice looking tattoo. It just reads really well. I mean, you know, at a distance, you can definitely spot on like it's nice, soft, feminine kind of.
It's very it's legible. That's what I really liked about the overall design, that it lends itself to be very legible and it was a fun piece to do. It was a nice one, and like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of heavy lifting from me, but I still had a lot of fun with it. What's this one? Is this you? Is this one? Oh no, that says me.
Oh, let me see that. That actually looked pretty cool. I mean, it's hard to see from this angle.
I'm not sure
on the little screen.
All right, what are we looking at? Oh yeah, okay.
That's cool.
So, this is a guy I've been working on for a while, and he's a big Norse Viking kind of dude, and we just shaded in a bunch of stuff.
Oh, nice.
That we've been working on him. We're doing two sleeves on him, but so that's kind of what he had, and I think we only have these two photos with it. But that kind of wraps around, and he's got some Viking like gods. This chick that's got like flesh ripping off her face and her skull sticking out. It's pretty cool. Yeah, but yeah, pretty fun, pretty neat. Man, I could just do that stuff all day long. You know, just doing fun little creepy places. I don't know. It's fun.
Buildings are kind of neat, especially the more obscure and different or creepy that they are.
Yeah.
You can add a lot of personality.
Textures and neat little like things in windows. You can have a little glow or a little silhouette in it, or just making up. I don't know. I like making little places where stuff's going on.
It's kind of like our Bob Rossing kind of moments.
Sort of.
Like, you know, do a happy little squirrel over here, and
and if you the thing with me is it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like writing a story. You know, if you can just imagine what's going on with whatever it is, well, as you write that story, then elements from that story you can start using to build a story for that main element.
And it's fun when your client also engages in that story.
Yeah.
And then you start kind of like telling this tale of what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, and
that's half the fun.
It is, man.
Yeah. Seeing their eyes go, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then you start bouncing off ideas, and before you know it, it's its own thing. And you didn't really have what you think would be a lot of input. You know, you're just like, I just kind of nudged
a bit, and you just jumped with me, and we pushed this thing off the freaking cliff, and it's dope.
Before you know it, it's like, man, we got to keep on going with this thing.
Yeah.
It's going to turn into a chest, whatever.
Yeah, it's going to just take on a life of its own. Yeah, that's part of the fun of tattooing, you know, that's part of the, I guess that's part of some of the reward or some of the dopamine I get from doing this that is outside of the actual tattooing, is connecting with someone's idea and getting that excitement and sharing that with them. And it's like, I just can't wait to get it on them.
You get to be like, kind of like in their shoes for a little bit, you know, and that excitement is like, you feel really great for them, you know?
Yeah.
And then like, you know, seeing that excitement is,
and then being able to be the one to actually deliver it to them.
Yeah.
You know, that excitement going, oh, just wait, dude.
It's good feel.
Don't look at me as being cool for giving this to you. Like, this is the cool thing. You know, like it's kind of, it's a neat thing.
It is a great feeling.
And that's probably part of being a tattoo artist that you don't you don't ever know either. Is that that the excitement that we can get sharing the excitement with you.
I sure would miss that, man. If that ever left my life.
Yeah, man,
it's a great feeling, just achieving that goal together,
that is a good point.
Collaboration,
There's never the satisfaction. I've never drawn or painted or anything. I've never done any piece of finished art in my life that I've ever gotten the same satisfaction that I get from doing a tattoo on a person.
No. Not at all.
Yeah, you don't get any other feedback than what you have in your own brain.
It's kind of like just like, oh, well, it's done.
It's like, yeah, that's neat. That's what I wanted it to look like. I'm pretty happy with that.
And it's kind of like empty, vacuous kind of feeling like
when you get so used to sharing what you create with someone who has a very vested interest on what it looks like.
And they were there the whole time.
That is a funny thing, though. I never really thought about that, no matter what I could draw or paint, it's never going to have that same kind of impact or that same boost or finality or juice up I get when a client looks at it and they're just like stoked they get to live with this thing. But anyway, all right, let's do this one more and then I'm going to drive home. Tell us about this thing.
Oh, this is so that's a fun little Mac Miller tribute. So I guess one of the album covers, I can't remember which one. He is looking pretty messed up, like a passed out.
Well, he doesn't have a head
in a doorway. Well, I mean, there's some artistic license, I guess, with this design because the angel wings and the plants for his head, those are. It's a very illustrative, I guess, interpretation of an album cover that.
So he doesn't. So what you're saying is, just so I understand, he doesn't in real life have a plant for a head?
No, he's actually got a human head.
Okay. So this is just kind of having fun with art.
It's not a portrait per se.
Okay, I can see that now that you pointed out.
As far as like, the whole plant for a head thing, I haven't seen very many people that have that kind of problem. I mean, not to say that that's a problem, because if you have a plant for a head, I'm not saying that I'm not bullying or I'm not trying to like out you for having a weird fucking head,
but it seems outrageous.
It is a little bit. Well, I did, the one thing I kind of got to choose on this was what kind of plant that we did. So
I can't wait to hear. Is it cotton?
I do love doing my flowers.
Yeah.
No, man. It's the deadly nightshade.
Oh, you went with the nightshade
because I figured why not go with something that's deadly. I figure like he's like a iconic hip hop rapper.
Is he alive?
Well, no, he is dead. He kind of lived that rock and roll kind of lifestyle. Died too young,
That kind of goes along with the deadly nightshade, I suppose.
But yes, I figured, what would
kind of
be
lived that dangerous seed.
Yeah, that dangerous kind of lifestyle. So yeah, I figured it would go good with the pink suit because he was wearing pink in the album cover. So yeah, that's about all there is.
And do you know anything about this blue sphere floating above?
Well, okay, so on the album cover, I'm thinking, and I'm not entirely certain, but I think it's the airplane lavatory. I'm gonna guess. Because the port window or whatever, it looks like clouds, and I'm gonna just guess that's like the
fart on my breakfast sandwich. That is exactly
egg McMuffin style.
I want that. Does now that you say it, I can't unsee it.
Okay,
that looks just like and it looks almost like the exit door, almost like boom, you'd fall out the plain.
And it kind of has that little bit of minimalism kind of thing to it too, because some of it's just lines and nothing to hide behind. And I'm like, okay, cool, man. The longest lines.
You saw that piece above it that I did on her. Have fun with that.
I love that one, man. That was awesome.
All those parallel motherfuckers. Parallel lines on the.
That looked incredible though when it was done. Man. Like I wish I got a picture of that. Like
kids
in whole.
Kids and their silly tattoos.
Well, I think they're gonna keep on getting them. So.
Chances are they will because they're crazy. All right. Well, let's see. Oh man. All right. It's all paint by numbers. Yeah, basically. I was thinking about the other day. I was making an outline for a black and gray piece, and I'm like, I'm kind of tracing it out my darker blacks and my medium tones and my lighter tones, and I'm like, started looking at it, I'm like, this is like a freaking paint by numbers. Really? Because you look over at your reference, and you can see where your line is in reference to your tones. And you're like, okay, so that shade goes in that spot. It's kind of paint by numbers.
Yeah.
But we just have to make it up on by ourselves.
Yeah, there's no numbers right there.
And figure out how to get it into there and stay.
Well, you could make the numbers in there, but then those are going to
That'd be awesome.
Those are going to be there.
But those are meant to be covered up anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Then
you'd have to do a cover-up of your own tattoo. That would just be...
I've been there, but we'll have to save that for next time. All right, you crazy kids. Well, thanks for joining us, listening to me and this wacky cat over here named Brent Starr. And thanks for joining. Send in your questions for next time if you want, or just tell your friends to be here and send us booby pics in the chat. That's cool too. But anyway, you guys. Come and get a tattoo or kiss somebody who has one and
kiss me, I'm tattooed. Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's an old T-shirt.
Yeah, man.
All right, you crazy kids, come and see us, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks for watching, guys.